Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. As always, thank you for joining me this week of October the 19th through October the 25th, 2014, as we wade through this Mercury retrograde time frame. The weather here in Houston has been really lovely. We actually had some fall weather, and I had to wear a sweater. Imagine. Of course, it wasn't very cold, but I'm sort of cold-natured. The important events for this week are Mercury going stationary direct on October the 25th. Although this is not a time to start new projects really until after October the 30th. So you can expect the end of the week to be creeping along and things moving much more slowly than we're used to. And as well, there's also a very long void of course moon on Saturday, especially from the mid-afternoon on. Also this week, on the 22nd, the Sun enters Scorpio on the morning of the 23rd, and we also have the second part of the eclipse cycle also happening on the 23rd at 4:57. Let me say that better. The Sun enters Scorpio on the 22nd, and then we have a solar eclipse on the following day on the 23rd. With this solar eclipse, relationship energies are being amped up as we approach the weekend. We're all expecting more and wanting more from the relationships that we are in, whether they're business or personal. Now let's take a look at our forecast for October the 19th through October the 25th of 2014. Sunday, October the 19th, the moon transits Virgo, the sign that rules health and healing for the entire day. The moon in the morning opposes Neptune at 4:16 a.m. It's a great time for meditation, yoga, or just sleeping. That's what I hope I'll be doing. The moon trines Pluto almost 12 hours later at 4:41 p.m. This combination of planets opens us to a deeper understanding of our own emotional unconscious. With this aspect, we're less afraid of what we might find. This is the time when we can transform ourselves and leave our past behind. Monday, October the 20th, the moon moves through service-oriented Virgo for the entire day. However, she will become void of course in Virgo at 10:30 p.m. and remain so for the rest of the evening. She will enter Libra on Tuesday morning at 6:12 a.m. Getting started on Monday, Venus sextiles Mars at 12:19 a.m. This planetary combination helps us to define our needs, helps to define what our needs are, and the processes we need to go through to get those needs met. These energies really favor sales and marketing in any businesses that deal with one-on-one relationships. It's a very positive time in most all relationships and relationship negotiations. This aspect has been in effect since yesterday and will be in effect all day today. The moon sextiles Saturn at 3:32 p.m. A great afternoon for getting things done. Work should be going smoothly, and you should be able to complete your agenda. This is a good time to be making your home a safer place. And as always, this is a good time for any type of task-oriented agenda. Mercury sextiles Jupiter at 3:38 p.m. Our mind remains open to larger ideas and more cohesive points of view with these two planets interacting. With Mercury still retrograde, this can be an excellent time to review long-term goals, editing or rewriting proposals, working on updating your internet and social media sites, or attending a conference or workshop. We are definitely more verbal with these two planets, and generally we're more open to new ideas and different points of view. Be sure to take some time to get away from your normal routine and habits. and this aspect will be in effect all day as well. The Moon squares Mars at 10:30 p.m. We can be fairly active later this evening and potentially bored if you don't have something to keep you entertained. Our emotions are on edge, and we're likely to take things in a very defensive and personal manner. Find a positive way to channel this energy. The Moon is now void of course in Virgo at 10:30 p.m. until she enters Libra at 6:12 a.m. Tuesday morning. Tuesday, October the 21st, the day starts with the Moon, of course, void of course, in regimented Virgo until she enters relationship-oriented Libra at 6:12 a.m. There are no exact aspects today, although the Moon itself is not void of course, but she does not make any connections with the other planets throughout the day. We may feel that we are sort of rudderless. With the Moon in Libra, we're all going to pay a lot more attention to our relationships and how we interact with each other through the entire day. Focus on that. As we get closer to the end of the day, our energy levels will pick up. Wednesday, October the 22nd, the Moon resides in Libra, the sign that seeks balance in life for the entire day. Early in the morning, the Moon squares Pluto at 4:09 a.m. Our mind is busy and active early this morning. We're turning things over and over in our head. Watch what you focus on in the morning, as this energy may make you more obsessed about whatever the spotlight shines itself on. A little bit later in the morning, the Moon opposes Uranus at 9:25 a.m. Our busy and active morning continues. We're likely to be a bit impatient this morning. Keep your morning flexible and don't overschedule yourself. It's easier to look outside of the box with this planetary combination. In the afternoon, the Moon conjuncts Mercury at 4:26 p.m. We're feeling nostalgic and reviewing the past this afternoon. It's a great time to contact existing clients, people you haven't talked to in a while, or just entertaining your idle daydreams. It's easy to say how we feel with Moon conjunct Mercury. The Moon sextiles Jupiter at 7:49 p.m. A great evening to be out with friends or clients, or just doing something totally different. Our mood is upbeat, and people are receptive to your ideas and your views. Thursday, October the 25th, the Moon travels through beauty-oriented Libra as our day begins. However, she will become void of course in Libra around lunchtime at 12:22 p.m. and she will remain so until late afternoon, when she moves into magnetic Scorpio at 4:10 p.m. There's also a solar eclipse today at 4:57 p.m. So it's going to be a busy afternoon and evening. We start our day with the Sun enters Scorpio at 6:57 a.m. Happy birthday to the Scorpios. The Sun will spend the next 30 days moving through the sign that represents rebirth and regeneration. It's a natural time of examining our current relationships and getting rid of the things that no longer serve us. We will all want greater emotional connections with those that are closest to us. This is a theme that's going on right now. In the afternoon, the Moon sextiles Mars at 12:22 p.m. Our energy levels are very strong and very confident through lunchtime. This is a good time for presentations, re-examining and reinforcing connections with loved ones or with your existing client base. Share with others how you feel. This is a very strong part of Moon sextiling Mars. Now, the Moon is void, of course, in Libra at 12:22 p.m. until she enters Scorpio at 4:10 p.m. this afternoon. During this void, of course, time, stay focused on finding harmony in your relationships. And if there isn't enough relationship talk, Venus, planet of love, money, and relationships, enters Scorpio at 3:52 p.m. and will remain there for approximately the next 25 days. With Venus in Scorpio, we search for deeper emotional connections, greater levels of intimacy and trust, and to ferret out the fears that create suspicion and doubt in our relationships. At 4:10 p.m., the moon finally enters emotionally reserved Scorpio. Right after that, the moon conjuncts Venus at 4:12 p.m. We're taking a good look at what really is important to us. Venus is simply the planet of desire, and she reflects what we think are the most important things in our life. With the moon here, we are conscious of how those desires satisfy our need for emotional security. And finally, the eclipse. The moon conjuncts the sun at 4:57 p.m. This new moon in Scorpio and the solar eclipse. This is the second part of the eclipse cycle that began with the lunar eclipses on October the 8th. The themes of trust and greater levels of intimacy will be reiterated with this solar eclipse. Light is being given to areas of our life that may prefer a shadowy cast. New information will be revealed to you over the next couple of weeks, so pay attention. Lots of information about relationships. Friday, October the 24th, the moon occupies Scorpio, the sign of power and passion, for the entire day. Early in the morning, the moon trines Neptune at 1:29 a.m. This is a great aspect for creativity, writing, painting, or doing all of this in your dreams. In the afternoon, the moon sextiles Pluto at 1:15 p.m., almost 12 hours later. Our afternoon is much more grounded as we are paying attention to things that are more practical and usable. This is a good time to discuss common goals, budget conditions, or having greater communications in our personal relationships. Things are moving slowly this afternoon because Mercury is going stationary direct tomorrow on Saturday. This is a good time for contemplation, standing back, and taking a good hard look at where you are and only preparing for what you plan to do. All of this will change after October the 30th, when Mercury is back up to speed and no longer retrograde. And finally, Saturday, October the 25th. The moon begins the day by making her way through unyielding Scorpio. However, she will become void of course in Scorpio in the late morning at 11:11 a.m. and remain so until very late in the evening, when she enters justice-oriented Sagittarius at 11:40 p.m. This is just over a 12-hour void of course moon time frame, which is fairly long. But connected to the Mercury going stationary direct, we might feel that we're in a race with snails and losing. Now for the aspects of the day. The Sun conjuncts Venus at 2:31 a.m. This combination of planets can make us feel hungry for love, affection, diamonds, chocolate eclairs, or the real sense of love and connection with that special someone. Since this has been in effect since yesterday, this is something we can all focus on. And sometimes this will make us a bit lazy. This aspect is in effect all day. The moon squares Jupiter at 4:44 a.m. If you're up early, this is a great morning for a hike or a jog at the park. We're just a bit restless this early morning.